So now let's move on to step 4, scheduling the placements and payment for investment. So let's dive in. After following up with each of your publishers' respective email thread, let them know that you'd like to move forward and make any internal requests for creative needed. And now we can talk about getting any commission increases scheduled. Starting with commission increases, as they do require some forward planning, more forward planning than a flat fee processing, navigate within the CJ Account Manager to find your publisher using the Publisher's Search page. So here you can see we've searched per Groupon, we searched them by name, and here they are. You can search by name or search by publisher CID. That's always a very reliable way to do it. Once you've selected that publisher, note you're going to check that box there. Click Make Offer to bring up the window so that you can schedule this increase. Select the increase program term and choose a proper duration setting. Here, often the best thing for a specific placement timing and an increased timing is going to be temporary with a fixed replace and end date. And what that means is that you're going to have that publisher is going to have their current program term. It'll switch on that fixed replace date, meaning it can't be accepted earlier than that. And then it'll end on that set end date, and it will return to that current term, the term before the placement started. So it's a perfect way to have that temporary increase nice and easily scheduled. And with CJ's new time zone scheduling, which you may not know about yet, so this is a whole new thing we've just introduced, you don't need to worry about having these start every time at midnight Pacific. Now you can actually choose the exact hour that you want that term to start, that increase to start and end by choosing your time zone and the exact date and time. Now remember, replacing terms does require a minimum of 7-day advance notice. And that's why I mentioned earlier, this requires more forward planning with your publishers than a flat fee. Don't try to push out this increase 2 days before the placement starts. Do it a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, set it up way ahead of time. Now, the only exception here is if the new terms coming into effect are only and purely a commission increase. So just as an example, let's say your publisher is at a 10% commission rate. If you needed to move them to an 8% commission rate, if you needed to decrease their commission, that's not an increase, and you wanted that to go into effect on, say, July 1st, you would need to push that new lower rate on or before June 24th. That's that 7-day window. Again, the only exception to the rule is if, for instance, the publisher is at a 10% rate and you are pushing a 12% commission rate, and that's the only thing you were changing in the term, you could push this new rate on, say, June 30th. But again, it's my 100% recommendation to just do all of this ahead of time, regardless of if it's an increase, decrease, or whatever is changing with program terms. Give yourself lots of time to schedule this so you don't need to worry about it. And for more information on replacing program terms and all those nuances, you can visit our Support Center article on it. And these links, there's a few more throughout the webinar. They'll be clickable in your PDF, so you can click them and go right to the article. Other than increase, as you may have flat fee payments to work out as part of a flat fee investment or hybrid payment, a common way to do this is to submit them as a bonus through the CJ Account Manager. So let's talk about how to do that. What you're going to do is go to the Reports Transaction page and click Create Commission. As you can see there, the button on the bottom left. Here, you're going to fill out some information to set up the bonus. So make sure the action name is set to bonus and not one of your transactional actions. You're going to enter the website ID. That's the publisher's PID. So make sure you confirm with the publisher what website ID they want this payment attributed to. Likely will tie directly to the site where the placement is located. Then you're going to come up with an order ID, and this is a little different than a transactional order ID. You're actually going to make this up on the spot, and you can use any alphanumeric characters, you can use spaces. What you're going to want to do is create an order ID that's unique to this publisher and placement details. So perhaps it's publisher name, homepage, November 2018. Something like that is a great, easy to reference, easy to understand, to look back on and go, okay, yeah, that's what that bonus was for. Now, in terms of the reference date, This can't be changed after the fact, so be aware these bonuses lock within 24 hours. You'll have a day, just in case you happen to make an error, you do have a day to correct this out and process a new one. But the reference date also can't be set after today's date. So you can't process a bonus, unlike the commission increases, way in advance of the placement. You're actually going to need to do it later. And my recommendation really is wait until the placement is actually done. Don't even process the bonus on the first day of the placement, because something could always go wrong, or there could be an issue with accuracy or timing or what have you. So wait until the placement's totally finished. You'll negotiate this with the publisher ahead of time, but try to process it once the placement's actually complete, and then you know that you've already received all the value that you're paying for, and they'll get that bonus as a reward. Now, if it's your first time using bonuses, there are some other nuances you might want to take into account. I'm not going to get into everything in this webinar, but please visit our Support Center article. Again, this links right to the article and covers both bonuses and performance incentives. Now, an alternative to processing flat fee payments using bonuses is to work through the CJ Placement Marketplace. And you might be very familiar with this, or this may be brand new. Since we've got quite a lot we're covering today, I won't be taking a deep dive into this great tool. It's got a lot going on, but you're very welcome to check it out. It will allow you to find placement opportunities, to manage your IOs, pay for placements right there, gets detailed reporting on placements specific to the placements. Is really great to check out, so I do recommend it. What I do recommend is check out this quick 2-minute video on the left here. That's the left link, explaining how it works and the benefits, as well as the Support Center article linked on the right, which covers the Placements Marketplace in depth. And both are linked from this slide here. This is a fantastic section of our interface. Talk to your publisher as you plan to see if they're using the marketplace, and it might help streamline your process that much more. Like I said, we've not structured the webinar around the marketplace alone. You might ask, well, why wouldn't we if we have this interface? It's because some publishers just choose not to utilize it at this time. They have their own process, they have their own IOs. So we want to make sure you're prepared no matter what your target publishers prefer to do. So we encourage you to explore this tool in more detail.